Hey, this is Jack Bourne. I'm the founder of Deadline Funnel, and in this video, I want to give you some tools and tips to be able to troubleshoot situations where you think that your email platform or sales page, order checkout platform is sending the information to Deadline Funnel, and you might be coming to the conclusion that Deadline Funnel isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, that there might be a bug with Deadline Funnel. So for example, sometimes we will get clients who say, hey, my sales are getting counted multiple times. What's wrong with Deadline Funnel? Or I set up sales tracking and I should be seeing sales coming through. I know that sales came through, but I'm not seeing any tracking in Deadline Funnel. And again, the assumption is something's wrong with Deadline Funnel. Now, this isn't just related to specifically sales tracking. This also could be for the email integration when a subscriber goes through an automation and a webhook is supposed to be sent out. But it's particularly, this really comes up a lot. I shouldn't say a lot, but when it comes up, it's more often than not related to sales tracking. So what I want to do is I want to talk you through very quickly how you can go through and diagnose this, because 99 times out of 100 or more, it's actually not Deadline Funnel. Deadline Funnel is just listening for the information. It's just that you think the information should have been sent or should have been sent once, but something in reality is happening different than what you're expecting it to happen. So how do we diagnose this? Well, I'm going to talk about ActiveCampaign, Convertkit, and Zapier as examples, but I'm going to go through those specific platforms, but in doing so, really what I want you to do is to take away that there's a theme, a process in how you go through this, and basically you want to go into whatever is sending that signal to Deadline Funnel. So it could be your checkout page platform, let's say. Whatever is sending the information to Deadline Funnel, you want to be able to go and research the history of when that information was sent and how many times it was sent. Okay, so if, for example, you're getting sales tracking multiple times, let's assume that Deadline Funnel isn't broken. Let's assume at first that the information is getting sent twice, and then try to go figure out why that's happening. All right, and usually if you take that approach, it becomes clear pretty quickly what the problem is, and you can fix it. So let's talk about ActiveCampaign, and as I go through these, it'll become clear how you could do this with almost any platform. So with ActiveCampaign, you could pull up by email address is probably the easiest way, the subscriber that you think should have triggered this webhook. So for example, someone who made a purchase, you can pull up that person's email address in ActiveCampaign, and you could take a look at was the webhook sent, when was it sent, was it sent multiple times? And the way that you can do that is in their record. So you look them up by email, click on their record, up will come the details page, and then you can look in the details page. Will show all their tags, all their custom fields, and also their automations. In that list of automations, you're going to hopefully see the name of the automation that should have triggered that webhook. So you click on that, and that should open up a screen that shows you the automation with one key difference, and that is that it's going to have an arrow, a sort of a loopy arrow down the left-hand side that shows the path that specific subscriber took through the automation. And you can hover over every step that they went through and see the exact time that they went through it. So this should show you an accurate record of when the webhook was sent, how many times it was sent, etc. Okay, so next, let's talk about Convertkit. So Convertkit's a little bit different. The process you'll use with Convertkit is that you'll actually go into the admin, go under automations, and then rules, and then go find the webhook in that list of rules. It will probably be near the bottom. You will click on that, and then somewhere at the bottom of that page, it comes up with the details of the trigger on the left-hand side and the webhook that's fired on the right-hand side. Towards the bottom, you're going to see a history of some of the recent webhook activity that was sent out. So this has to be for a subscriber of yours that went through this process recently. So if you see that the same subscriber got 2 webhooks sent out, then you would want to backtrack and see, well, why was that? Are you applying the tag that triggers that 2 times? What sort of trigger is happening that's making that get sent out twice from Convertkit? Or if it's not getting sent out at all, why is that? Take a look inside of Convertkit and see, based on your automations and your triggers, what isn't happening that should be happening. Okay, the last one, and this one will cover a lot of scenarios for, especially for sales tracking, would be Zapier. inside of Zapier, you can go under the history for a specific Zap, and you can take a look at all the recent activity. And I think you can search back, several days, maybe weeks. You might be able to search back as long as you need to be able to see the history of those Zaps and exactly when those were sent. Those Zaps are like webhooks. It's information that's being sent from Zapier over to Deadline Funnel. So if you're using something like, for let's say, Teachable as a platform and someone purchases, Teachable is going to trigger the Zap inside of Zapier, which will send the information to Deadline Funnel. So if you're seeing twice as many sales as you should, then you want to go and take a look at how many times was that Zap fired for each of those subscribers. Or if it wasn't being fired at all, you would want to go in and take a look at why isn't Zapier being fired. Is there an issue? So that's how you can go inside of these platforms and see exactly when the webhooks are being sent, if they're being sent. If they're being sent multiple times, this is the way that you can go and diagnose this to be able to see why possibly the sales tracking isn't working the way that you expected, or even if it's the email integration, this is a process that you can use to troubleshoot exactly when those webhooks are being sent out. So I hope this video was really useful for you and gives you some information. Now, please understand that if you're still confused, you're not alone. My team is here to help you, so don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help. So once again, my name is Jack. I'm the founder of Deadline Funnel, and on behalf of my team, thank you so much for being our client. Take care.